It all began in 1966. A legacy built to inspire and nurture future managers and leaders. Our dedication to professional excellence was deeply rooted in our hearts for Malaysia, providing an avenue for crucial conversations and networking amongst the public and private sector. We were the bridge for fluid collaboration between the two. Alumnus graduated to become the country's most successful and iconic professional leaders, forming a community that crosses boundaries, nationalities, languages, and industries to create a better way of doing business. The Malaysian Institute of Management was well on its way to greater heights.
Breaking news. We are following news of a fire that broke out in Campbell Complex, Kuala Lumpur.
The financial meltdown of 1997,
Malaysia records its highest daily death toll since the start of the pandemic, as the movement control order is extended.
Amidst disheartening times, MIM ascended to greater
Dia nampak tak?
strength,
View.
living in an unprecedented era of technological, social, and economic change. Being resilient, relevant, and current resonates in our heartbeat. Blessed with empowering management that breaks barriers, we stood strong to our vision and mission, ensuring impactful professionals and public leaders are well equipped and groomed, accelerating partnerships across regions and around the world, bringing the best possible management and leadership practices. We designed and curated programs with the highest global standards and recognitions, embracing innovation and ingenuity by delivering augmented services in quality, experience, and business impact. To date, MIM has trained and certified over 1 million individuals from 19 different countries, upholding diversity and gender equality inclusion, engaging individuals to inspire, collaborate, share, and interact, embracing learning with a world-class, mobile-ready learning management system with AI and robust reporting, learning on the move, made accessible anytime, anywhere, exploring signature and hybrid events, learning insights and webinars that bring individuals together for work and play. MIM aspires to continue flourishing the minds and hearts of future leaders with an exciting, exhilarating, and invigorating culture, elevating individuals into a world of new possibilities and experience, nurturing managers and leaders through time. Our leadership legacy. We are MIM. Celebrating 55 years of excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you. It's an honor to have you join us today as we gather for this CPD talk. We are here to explore the human factor of cyber risk in cybersecurity, a topic that is increasingly relevant in our ever-evolving digital world. A friendly reminder to all our participants, kindly ensure that you're on mute during the session to maintain a distraction-free environment. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. The Malaysian Institute of Management is proud to host the CPD Talk. MIM, a distinguished institution with a 6-decade legacy, is dedicated to promoting excellence in management and leadership. Our mission is to equip professionals like you with the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in the dynamic landscape of business and technology. Today's program is aimed at shedding light on an often overlooked facet of cybersecurity, the human element. In an age of rapid technological advancement and digital reliance, the human factor remains a critical component in cybersecurity equation. As we embrace AI, Internet of Things, cloud security, 5G, and big data, the behavior and actions of individuals play a pivotal role in our overall cybersecurity posture. Before I introduce the distinguished speaker, our acting CEO would like to say a few words. Mr. Kabinesh Iliyatambi.
Thank you, Maheshwara. A very good afternoon to all MIM members and participants. I am thrilled to welcome you to this CPD talk on the human factor of cyber risk in cybersecurity. As the acting CEO of MIM, I am truly honored to be here with all of you today and to have the opportunity to listen from a distinguished speaker, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Technologist Dr. Haji Amiruddin, the CEO of Cybersecurity Malaysia, who will be addressing this crucial topic. I am also pleased to inform that Yang Berbahagia Datuk is also a fellow member of MIM. In an era where technology is at the heart of nearly everything we do, the need for robust cybersecurity measures cannot be overstated. The threats and challenges we face in a digital realm continue to evolve at a rapid pace, making it vital for us to stay informed, vigilant, and proactive in safeguarding our data, privacy, and digital infrastructure. Well, today's session, however, focuses on the human factor of cyber risk in cybersecurity. The human factor is a critical and often underestimated element in the ongoing battle against cyber threats. While we invest in advanced security tools and technologies, we must also recognize that human behavior, knowledge, and awareness are equally vital in our defense against cyber attacks. In fact, it's often said that the weakest link in any security chain is the human element. As we... All right. As we dwell... Okay, can you all hear me?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just want to check. Can I be heard, Maheshwara?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, I'll proceed. Now, as we delve into the human factor of cyber risk, let us be inspired to foster a culture of cyber awareness and responsibility within our organizations and communities. Let us recognize that while technology is essential, it is the people who ultimately make the difference. Once again, it's a pleasure to host each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of this important session, and I hope you find this talk enlightening and thought-provoking. Enjoy the session. Maheshwara, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Kavi. To guide us through this complex terrain, we are privileged to have an esteemed expert as our speaker, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Technologist, Dr. Haji Amiruddin Abdul Wahab, the Chief Executive Officer of Cybersecurity Malaysia. With over 30 years of experience in ICT, spanning in both public and private sectors, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Technologist Dr. Amiruddin brings a wealth of knowledge and insights to today's discussion. Without further ado, I'll be passing it along to Yang Berbahagia Datuk Technologist Dr. Amiruddin to start the session. Over to you.
Thank you, Maheshwara. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Firstly, let me take this opportunity to thank MIM for inviting me to share my perspective with regards to the topic entitled "The Human Factor of Cyber Risk in Cybersecurity." As mentioned just now, I think this is a very important topic so that people understand when we talk about cybersecurity, actually it goes beyond just technology. And in fact, human is the key element when it comes to cybersecurity. But firstly, let me share a bit about what I will be going through in the next several, I think, 30 to 45 minutes. But can you see all the slides? Is it okay?
Yes, Dato.
Okay. Okay, let us start first. Before we talk about cyber risk, before we talk about cybersecurity, I think we need to first understand the landscape of digital world today. And that is the base of our discussion when we talk about cybersecurity. Yeah? And I like to start by sharing these statistics. If you look at these statistics, you see that individuals using internet at the global level is quite high, which is about 5.19 billion, or about 64.5% of the total global population in the world. In Malaysia, is even more. If you look at the statistics, we have 33.03 million, or roughly about 96.8% internet users in Malaysia. So the message that I would like to highlight here is that more and more people are connected to the cyberspace, connected to the internet, using digital technology to connect themselves to this new space called cyberspace. In general, we can say that it is about internet of people. That means more and more people are connected into the internet. But then, if we look at the surrounding technological changes and the landscape of digital world today, it's not just about internet. We see there are so many new emerging future technology become headline in the various news, local or international. I think some of you may have heard about Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, or Industry Revolution 4.0, blockchain, 5G, AI, so many. And now there are even terms what we call Internet of Everything. And what it means is that now it's no longer just about Internet of people, not just about Internet of things or devices, but many things are interconnected. Internet of data, Internet of process. So to the level that we are really moving towards a world that is connected of everything, the Internet of everything. And they are converging in terms of the cyberspace and physical space, sort of like a converging and merging. And one thing that I like to stress while we talk about all these technological changes, all these digital transformation initiative, it does not come without risk. Yeah, obviously the technology such as wireless technology do change how we conduct business, how we purchase things, how people work. Sometimes we call it work from home, etc. But this flexibility, though it is convenient and expense productivity, it introduces complexity and security risk. Since these new technology and devices become new targets for hackers looking to infiltrate our corporate network. And the impact of this attack is not just confined to the cyberspace. As I mentioned just now, the convergence to the physical and the cyberspace, resulting in things that happen in the cyberspace, the cyber attacks, for example, can affect the critical infrastructure of even a nation. They can attack grid line, they can attack pipeline, they can attack so many other sectors that are considered critical to the operation or the running of a nation. And for sure, if we look at this diagram, actually cyberspace has become what we call the new fifth domain of warfare. What we used to, for example, is the traditional domain of warfare, land, air, sea, and space. But this man-made domain, cyberspace, actually embedded in all domain. And it is, in fact, Department of Defense of US has declared officially cyberspace as the fifth domain of warfare. So this is real, And one thing also that we need to understand, these threats at the cyberspace is also evolving. While we talk about activities such as script kiddies, or we call it the amateur hackers, pranksters, etc., that we normally they hack into whatever network just to show off their technical capabilities for fun or something like that. But now it has evolved, not only actively become a more nation state kind of threats. They call it the nation state cyber attacks, cyber terrorism, organized cyber criminals, etc. So it becomes to the level no longer the threat is done by only one or two people or individuals, but even at the state level. This is how it has evolved. And even cybersecurity also has evolved. And this is normal about any technology, including digital technology. We've heard before, maybe in 1986, about the terms like computer security. Then we heard terms like information security in the 20s. Then we now talk about cybersecurity. But now we're moving to the future. Now people are also talking about cyber resilience, the ability to bounce back even after attack happen. And in the future, which is still in the gray area, but in the future, even they call it possible cyber dominance. So these are evolution. So things evolve because technology also evolve. And the way we look at things also evolve. And why all these threats, all these risk of cyber attacks happen? There are many motives. For example, the financial gain. There's obviously many people basically attack because of their motive is for financial gain. There are also possibilities such as to exploit people's vulnerability for purpose of espionage, collecting data, gathering intelligence, etc. Or even, for example, politically motivated for propaganda reasons. These activities such as those by hacktivists and to exploit software and hardware vulnerabilities, etc. So obviously there are risks when it comes to being connected to the cyberspace, because the more we are connected, the more actually we are exposed to what we call cyber risk. And cyber risk means any risk of financial loss, disruption, or damage to the reputation of an organization from some sort of failure of its information technology system. So as such, cyber risk management is needed. So that, but at the same time, there are also other terms when it comes to we call it now digital risk. It's related, but it is also very specific. For example, we know that one of the 7 digital risks includes cybersecurity and resilience risk. The one I mentioned earlier. But there are also issues of compliance risk. The potential of an organization failing to adhere to the laws, regulation, and policies, etc., leading to possible legal or financial consequences, reputational damage, or operational disruption. Another digital risk is about third party and cloud risk. We may protect our organization, but then in terms of business, normally we depend also from our supplier. If supplier is not secure, the impact of that security risk may also implicate us. So this is what we call third-party risk. And also maybe to use other third-party infrastructure such as cloud, etc. There's also another risk we call automation risk, because now everything is moving towards automation. And most of it also being facilitated and enabled by digital technology. So that's another risk that need to be catered for. Then also technology risk. The potential challenges, uncertainties as a result of our adoption or development or even use of technology solutions. Another risk are related to data privacy and data leaks. And the last one is more on human itself, workforce. The potential threats and uncertainties associated with the composition or with capabilities or availability of organizations' employees, which can impact its ability to achieve its business objectives. In the context of cyberspace, these are some of, I would say, the latest and quite prevalent security threats that's happening, not only in the country, but it's also at the regional level. In fact, these are some of the source that we've got from, for example, the conference on ASEAN-Japan Cybersecurity Community 2020, which was just early of the month. Yeah? And phishing, for example, is one of the top threats. Yeah? Phishing is basically, you can link it in terms of fraud activities. You know? So phishing is one in the top of the list. Malware is malicious software. So any software developed by criminals to steal data or damage or destroy the computers and computer system. Another thing that is quite is growing is ransomware. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the ransomware. Ransomware, basically they infect your system, your computer, whatever your device. They lock you, but in order for you to unlock it, you have to pay certain ransom. Yeah. And then weak authentication, the password is weak, etc. And even insider threat. Yeah. So when we talk about cyber threats, it's not just about attacks from outside. And in fact, insider threat from inside is also one of the top risks when it comes to it is a threat that originates from within the organization itself. So to go deeper on that insider threats, whether it is intentionally or unintentionally, it will cause profound damages to an organization. And these are all related to human. For example, it can come from oblivious insider who just doesn't know or doesn't care, doesn't worry about the situation. They may suddenly disclose information. Or even another one, maybe negligent insider. Then third one, maybe malicious insider. And the fourth one, professional insider. That means those who's being really planted to be inside and then do the damage from inside the organization. The other thing that we need to understand is, in addition to just the normal cybersecurity, there's another element that is also growing at not only Malaysia, but also global level, is cybercrime. And most, in the context of Malaysia, this is handled by the Royal Malaysian Police. And for example, last year, they estimated around 600 million loss to cybercrime. That's a lot of money due to cybercrime, and mostly related to fraud activities, scam activities. At the global level, you can see the amount reached to trillions of dollars. And these are, like I said, it is a big amount, and the loss getting more and more because many people are now connected to this cyberspace, as I showed you earlier. And actually, the more we are connected, the more we are exposed. So that's what the importance of I would say, get ourselves aware and understand about all this threat, and I would say educate ourselves to the knowledge to protect ourselves from all these threats. In our organization, Cybersecurity in Malaysia, we actually have we call it help center called Cyber 999. You can report any cyber incident. It's free of charge. Any individuals, any organization, public or private sector, individual, etc., you can report to us any cyber incident, and we will do the necessary to investigate, to assist you and support you technically. And if it is something that related to cybercrime, we will escalate to the law enforcement agencies. And you can report to us at Cyber 999 at Cybersecurity.my. You can call us at 1300 882-999, or you can download a mobile app. It's free, a Cyber 999 mobile app, and you can use all the various channels that is available there to report all the various incidents. So just to share with you, for example, here statistics that is from 2011 to September 2023, and if you can see, it goes up and down, and these are not a reflection of overall incident in the country, because this report is voluntarily. So not all reports to us, but this is based on the statistics that netizens report to us. And out of that, we see that the top 4 cyber incidents in Malaysia tends to be quite consistent in the past several years. And fraud, for example, has consistently become the top cyber incident in the country. In fact, fraud consists of 70% of the total incidents been reported to Cybersecurity Malaysia, Cyber 999. And under that category of fraud include what just now I mentioned, phishing, scam, etc. The second one is malicious code. Malicious code is related to the malware and the ransomware activities. Again, it shows that it is in the top 3 categories. And the third is on intrusion. And this is where hacking is. So even hacking is always these 3: fraud, malicious code, and intrusion is always the top in the list for the last several years consistently in our Cyber 999 Help Center. So as I mentioned just now, when we are being compromised, when we've been attacked, the cost and the impact of cyber attack is huge. Imagine an organization that has been compromised. For sure, it will impact its brand and its reputation. There will be sensitive media scrutiny, a lot of media, public stakeholders engagement that need to be done to manage the PR and even possible loss of assets or intellectual property. On the financial side, we will see that a lot of costs involved to respond to the incident, possible loss of business and contracts, possible loss because of insurance premium costs, detection and escalation, etc. And on the regulatory element, the regulatory risk, we will be audited by the independent entities, regulatory fines, and then restriction on information sharing, etc. And the operational risk it involves where we have to divert and also galvanize the whole organization and employees from the strategic initiative that we are doing to work on damage control, cybersecurity improvement, operational disruption, all these things. So these are huge. Those that are tangible and non-tangible, but overall it does impact the organization. And that's why in some instances, not only in Malaysia, some even overseas, once they have been compromised, many of the organizations, they may not survive or they have to close down. So these are some of the challenges, the impact of cyber attack. So it is not about technological problem anymore. It is a business or enterprise problem because it affects the whole organizations, not just IT department. So what I've mentioned just now is all about the risk that we have to face. In actual, human factor in cybersecurity risk is very crucial. Why? Because it is as much as 90% of security vulnerabilities are actually simply by human error. So that shows how important cybersecurity, yes, it is about technology, but it is not just about technology. In fact, people counts the main element within the cybersecurity domain. As you can see here, most of the vulnerabilities are because of the human weaknesses. So how human risk occurs? One is because of the lack of awareness and training. What I mean by lack of awareness, for example, as a user of digital technology, you may not need to be technically competent or IT proficient, but at least as a user, you need to know basic the do's and don'ts. For example, even if an organization that has put place a very expensive technology, and they put all the firewalls, antivirus, etc., but sometimes just because of the lack of awareness, one staff just to click certain link from unknown source, good enough to compromise the whole network organization. And it doesn't have to be IT people. It could be IT people. It's all about awareness. And the other thing about training. Sometimes we assume those who are graduated in IT or computer science, they know how to handle cybersecurity incident and how to, but in actual, it is a special skill. If they are not trained and not proficient and not competent enough, they may not be able to protect the organization. So that is one element when it comes to human risk. Second, in terms of security hygiene, poor security hygiene. For example, in the case of many people, we tend to, for example, password. Normally, we should have a good password or strong password. the combination of many characters or alphabet, etc., and it need to be changed regularly. But in some organization, they just remain to use the default password, PASSWORD, or they just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. So these are poor cybersecurity hygiene, and because of this, then the organization will be exposed to the various cyber attack that I mentioned just now. Yeah, neglect cybersecurity best practices. Yeah, sometimes there are procedures. What can be done, what cannot be done. Yeah, don't share everything. For example, there is if possible for confidential document, need to put password to protect so that it cannot be accessed by everyone. Another best practices to ensure that the organization, for example, aligned or certified under the ISMS 27001, for example. So these are things that need to be implemented in organization. But if it's not implemented, the chances of I would say a risk related to human can occur. Yeah. The other thing is maybe work burnout, a state of physical or emotional exhaustion, especially in people who are involved in IT department, etc. This could also resulting in, just now I mentioned just now, the threat, whether it is oblivious insider, negligent insider, etc., etc. And workplace environment and culture, which could cause also more human error. I've seen, for example, offices that I've attended, they for example, they have a laptop, computers, whatever, but then they put their password at the stick, at the note, stick note, or at their cubicle. So how do you protect your devices when you yourself don't have a proper cybersecurity culture in the organization? So these are some of the examples of how human risk can occur. So I want to highlight that cybersecurity is a life skill, it's a human skill. We need to keep learning, but it's also something that we know that it is matters related to us as a human being. And it is not only for all of us, but it's also cybersecurity is by all. What I mean is that each and every one of us, regardless of whether we are just a normal employee or whether we are IT people or we are also the management and the board members of an organization, each and every one of us has played some roles to ensure security, because risk, especially cyber risk, is everybody's responsibility, and it does not operate in silo. The management, in effect, the leader, the management, the board must show the example by leading the organization and enhancing security. I'll give an example. This is hypothetical. How do I mean the importance of shared responsibility? Yeah, if you look at this diagram, if the executive, maybe the management or the board is the blue one, the IT technical people is the green one, the normal employee who is non-IT savvy, their employees, etc. Each and every one of them have their own perspective. If you the management, for example, only concerned about the need to control, the need to have more processes, etc., in organization to ensure compliance. While at the same time, the IT people say in order for them to implement security measures, they need more budget for technologies. While employee talk about if whatever they can, they don't want the bosses to know, they will hide problems to avoid troubles or mockeries. So each and everyone do not play the role in helping to enhance security. So they will keep finger pointing. For example, executive will tell the IT people, it is your job to educate employees, but then IT people say, you don't know, you don't have a clue of what our job is. Employee, on the other hand, will say, well, cybersecurity, I'm not IT people, I'm not technical, this is not my job, this is IT guy, that is his problem. So cybersecurity is his job. On the other hand, the IT people will say, look, you are a computer literate, it's because of you, resulting in all this threat happening. You click wrong link, you basically share your password at your cubicle or whatever, you don't change the default password, etc. And the executive say comply or you are a threat. Those kind of things. So employees also say then in order to avoid all the control that is being set by the executive, so they put various excuse to spy on or they say that the bosses are trying to spy on us and control us, and vice versa. So the problem is, if everyone do not want to take responsibility and keep finger pointing, this is where the weakness of cybersecurity will occur. And this is actually the vulnerabilities that will be exploited and can be exploited by the attackers. That is why it is very important for each and everyone of whoever their respective roles, where they are, play their part and look at cybersecurity as a shared responsibility. And in order to manage the risk, they have to understand how to handle each of the risks. First, if, for example, if we feel that this risk is something that need to be avoided, that means action is taken to do something different, then to avoid totally, that's one way. There's a risk, you totally avoid the risk. Another way to manage or handle the risk is that you accept it to us. Okay, there is a risk, yes, we agree, but it is acceptable. So we will not do any action. Okay. So it's one, on the other side is avoid, the other one is accept. But in the middle, there's also possibilities of action taken to reduce the possibility or the impact of the risk. And then, in order to do that, they have to implement certain relevant controls. One way also to handle the risk is to transfer it rather than to put all to yourself. So shifting the responsibility and impact to a third party. Transfer the risk. And finally, it's about sharing the risk with the higher authority or with the third party. But again, we always talk about the importance of addressing human element, because cyber risk, even though, like I said just now, you can put whatever in place, the best technology, the best tools, but if the human aspect or human element is not being tackled, the chances of you being attacked is still high. So these are some of the way to address the human element of cyber risk: behavioral analysis, awareness, insider threat detection, human-centric security policies, adaptive accessibility, overall engagement, and be holistic. That covers the element of people, process, and technology. In terms of the governance of the risk, and then best practices, I mentioned just now about hygiene, cyber hygiene, which refers to best practices that an organization, security practitioners, and users can undertake. For example, if you can see, if the left side is more for the non-IT expert, so more like the employee just now, and the right side is more on the IT side, the practitioner. So the best practices, the cyber hygiene, is about use antivirus software, use strong password, change password frequently, etc., and only visit website they know, because sometimes there are websites that may have malicious software installed. When you access that, then you will be compromised. And then don't share personal info. But for the security expert, while we need all those 5 elements, for example, in this case, we still need to ensure that they plays role as the protector to install software update or patches, use unique passwords, and then 2-factor authentication, password manager, etc. And so as such, I can say that the risk management best practices is basically about integrated and consistent controls and policies to gain board and management support. That means the board has to play a role and to support and give the direction to the people at the lower level, whether non-technical or technical staff. And we need to also monitor the risk environment so that the risk goes, I would say, if and when nature or potential or likelihood of the risk goes outside the acceptable level, then we can make some intervention. Okay. And then the other one is about identify and understand one's risk. That means we need to document any risk that could keep an organization from reaching objective. We also need to have collaboration with external parties to help identify and mitigate supply chain risk. And best practices that I like to highlight here, I mentioned just now, is about the holistic approach. Holistic approach, that means we have to view cybersecurity not just about technology, but also about people. And also another element that is critical is process. Yeah? And this need to be seen as a holistic, as a complete integrated approach in managing and handling cybersecurity. For example, not sufficient by just having installed all the firewalls, IDS, but we don't have a proper best practices, policy on cybersecurity, etc., etc. Plus training your IT people and giving awareness to the overall staff of the organization. The other thing, the best practices is about adaptive approach. Adaptive approach is to respond to potential cyber threats in real time by continuously monitoring user session. Okay, basically it's about you monitor the situation. If incident happen, you respond towards it. You have a proper mechanism to prevent and minimize from it to happen. You have strength. You also strengthen your detection capabilities and predictive capabilities. Another element of best practices. This is part of the process. I mentioned just now the process element of cybersecurity is zero trust. That means you have to put a process whereby we have to ensure continuous verification. Yeah, always verify whoever wants to access our network, regardless of whatever they are or what level they are. They have to go through it. The concept is trust no one or zero trust. And finally, the defense in depth. Defense in depth means sort of a multi-layered defense, multifaceted approach. We don't defend our security purely by like fence security. That means we put perimeter, wall, then that's the way. But instead, it has to be different layers from one to another, from physical, network, computer, application, devices, etc. And on the element of people, as I mentioned, people is crucial to be given training and awareness program. Promote them awareness and training program to inform the clients or shareholders their responsibilities also to support and enhance the security level of the organization. And the other one is on collaboration, as it's now about sharing of information, resources and expertise, etc. So how to create the culture? Well, it has to be start at the highest level. Start with the C level to make security relevant, and then make it program human-centric with a focus on tackling human as the weakest link. Make cybersecurity awareness training fun, rewarding, invest in tools, and provide security talent. And if possible, for organizations that could afford, they may have what we call CISO, a Chief Information Security Office plan in place in the organization. Let me share some initiative that we do in Cybersecurity Malaysia to reflect what I have briefed just now, and how do we see and how do we manage the cybersecurity. In 2021, we launched a program called Cyberkasa. Basically, Cyberkasa is an acronym, a short form of, in Malay, we call it Program Pemerkasaan Keselamatan Cyber. So that is what is meant by program, we call it Cyberkasa. And this consists of approach to cybersecurity, looking at three elements of people, process, and technology, with the goal that not only to protect, but also to be resilient. That means have the capability to safeguard the interests of stakeholders. What it means is that I said just now, even if you are attacked, even if you are being penetrated by your enemies or the attackers, you still be able to minimize that threat. You can recover from that disruption, and you can continue with your business with minimum effect, minimum impact to the organization. And that's what cyber resilient. Because cybersecurity, as you all know, there's no such thing as 100% secure. So we need to always keep improving and be able to also resilient to ensure that even if we are finally been attacked, we are able to bounce back quickly and continue with our business operation very fast. And these are some of our services that we have that look into the three elements I mentioned just now: human or people, process, and also technology. I don't want to go through detail, but just to show you how we put it and how we describe program pemerkasaan kesihatan cyber or cyberkasa. That means it has to be seen that cybersecurity is not purely about technology, but all these three elements with human as the main element, because it is the weakest link of all the three elements that we mentioned. So that's why we have programs on the people. Under the people element, the pillar for the people, we have developed framework that looks into three categories of people. One for the non-user, non-practitioner, or who are just user. So we have a program called CyberSafe, Security Awareness for Everyone. Basically to build security awareness and appreciation, and build digital citizenship among the users or the employees of the organization. The next level is for the practitioner, for the IT people, where we train them, we give them competency, skill that they need, the knowledge that they need to operate in the environment that they are working on. So they have the necessary skill, not just depend on their degree that they got at the universities, but they need to be trained specifically in areas, specifically in the field of cybersecurity. The third layer is to be professionals, where we have global accredited cybersecurity education scheme. This is a professional certification aligned to the international standard, and you are not only being trained, being given training, competency, etc., but you will also be tested and exam based on in accordance to the international standard. And after that, you will be certified, just like any certified program, professional certification that may be offered by many other organizations. So this cybersecurity awareness, we tackle as early as school children. We have program that we have, for example, called CyberSafe at School. In addition to that, we have various programs with the discourse, cybersecurity discourse, and many other programs. And we have even many knowledge sharing with regards to photos, posters, infographics, and webinar, and also a guideline in our portal, cybersafe.my or cybersecurity.my. All these with the goal to build culture of the digital citizenship among masses from all occupations and lifestyle. And these are some of the example posters that we have developed to tell about cyber ethics, about privacy, about how to manage steps on managing data leakage, fake news, scam, internet addiction, antivirus in your gadget, etc. I don't want to go through detail. This is about our program in developing a training competency program on cybersecurity, where we have collaboration with the various universities, public and private universities. And the last one, or the global ACE, this is a professional certification on cybersecurity I mentioned just now. In fact, it won World Summit of Information Society, WSIS YC's Prize 2020, winner between many countries. And this award was awarded by the ITU, International Telecommunication Union Secretary General of the which is ITU is actually a subsidiary of the United Nations. So basically this global ACE certification is industry driven, vendor neutral, with the goal to create world-class competent workforce in cybersecurity and promote the development of cybersecurity professional programs within the region. And in fact, the training from this program has reached more than almost 30 countries around the world, especially in the APAC, Middle East, and African region that has benefited from this. And these are some of the partners that help to develop. That's why I say it's a vendor neutral and industry driven, where we have various experts from academia, from the government agencies, the industry involved in development of this global ACE certification program, and panel of experts. And to the level we have trained many countries, as you can see, even being recognized by 12 OIC countries, 13 IPTA, 3 IPTS, and we have trained like just now, 1,830 people in various subjects of cybersecurity. Yeah, and if you look at these slides, these are some of the training program under the global ACE that we have. And the one that I put red is something that may be of even relevant to you as a organization. You don't have to be technical person. Yeah, for example, number 5, security awareness manager. So you can go and be trained and be certified under the CISM, Certified Information Security Awareness Manager. For with this also, not only you have the knowledge about the cybersecurity awareness, but you can also become the ambassador to teach and train others. So if you are a big organization, maybe some of your people can attend some of these courses, and they can become your ambassador after this to train various subjects on cybersecurity to your organization or even your subsidiaries. And the other one is on certified cybersecurity risk manager. There are many also others. I don't want to go to the detail. And here also we have a cybersecurity awareness educator, cybersecurity risk manager, CISM, etc. And these are some other programs. This one is a bit technical, so I just want to show you that there are many programs that are available, and we can share you more information about it. And when it comes to recognition, together with the Department of Skills Development Malaysia, JPK, and the Malaysia Board of Technologies, MBOD, these programs under the Global ACE have been integrated into TVET training program, and also be recognized under Cybersecurity Modular Professional Certification under the NOS, the National Occupational Skills Standard. In fact, Cybersecurity Malaysia is what they call it industry lead body, ILB, for Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran Kementerian Sumber Manusia in the field of cybersecurity, while we are also they call it TEP, Technical Expert Panel, for MBOD, Malaysia Board of Technologies, that allows you, for example, if you know, there are what they call it terms, professional technologies, TS and TC, professional technician, under the Malaysia Board of Technologies. So they recognize, and you will be given CPD points to retain your TS and TC, I would say, accreditation by MBOD if you take courses under this global ACE. So that's on the people element. The second element is on the process. So our cyber CASA is to align to the high-level policy and strategy of the nation. We support the Malaysia cybersecurity strategy. We support to the Malaysia digital economy blueprint. We support the National Fourth Industrial Revolution policy, and also the various government and National Malaysia Development Plan or Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 and our ministry, because we reports under the Ministry of Communications and Digital. That's one element on policy. The second element is on the legislation. For example, we have Personal Data Protection Act, which was gazetted in 2010, now in the process of being amended. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the government is targeting next year as the time for them to bring it to the parliament and do the amendment, because it has been quite some time but quite obsolete. Malaysia is also going to establish what they call it cybersecurity laws, a cybersecurity bill that is also expected sometime next year to be presented and brought to the parliament to strengthen the element of security and also data protection in the country. At the operational level, Cybersecurity Malaysia also has developed several guidelines on cybersecurity related to industrial control system, SSDLC, IoT, Industry 4.0, etc. We also support the national cryptography policy with regards to encryption and local algorithm to technology. In addition to that, Cybersecurity Malaysia is also a certification body where we focus on information security according to the international standard, such as the ISMS 27001, Privacy Information Management System 27701, Business Continuity Management System, My Trust Seal, and Common Criteria Evaluation and Certification MyCC scheme. So we are involved as as an independent and accredited certification body in the field of cybersecurity. At the local level, there's a process of engagement. So we play a role to work with all the stakeholders, whether they are from private sector, still higher learning, government, law enforcement agencies, media, etc., etc. And this is how we engage. As a National Technical Specialist Agency, Cybersecurity Malaysia work with the National Security Council, NACSA, etc., on element of policy, work with the law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies, all law enforcement on comes to enforcement activities, support Lieutenant General Chambers on legislation, work with the industries and academia to build products and solution, local products and solution, plus build talent for the country, work with the community and awareness and capacity building, and also helping local industry to grow through collaboration with other agencies such as MDEC, MITI, etc. Yeah. At the international level, because as you know, cyber is a borderless space, cyber attack can come not only from within Malaysia, but also from outside. So the importance of collaborating at the international level. Again, this is where the human element of building stronger relation at the bilateral and multilateral level. Yeah. And last but not least, the third element is technology. We know that threats are getting more and more advanced, even though we have put in place various security measures and best practices. We have developed, for example, firewall for our organization, intrusion prevention and intrusion detection system, IDS, IPS. Still, as I mentioned earlier, it is no longer sufficient to deal and handle the cybersecurity approach through perimeter defense. But we need to have a layered and redundant defensive mechanism to protect our data and asset from cyber attacks. So this is what we call multi-layered defense. And it has to cover all the three elements of people, process, and technology. And then in terms of our addressing resiliency, this is where we have to adopt adaptive security to be more proactive and integrated in responding, in preventing, in detection, and also predictive of the threat that is already there. So we have, as a result, developed labs to strengthen our predictive capabilities, leveraging an AI and data analytics capabilities. Where here, for example, are photos of our lab, satellite lab that we have together in collaboration with UTM in Johor. We also strengthen the responsive capabilities to the development of our to our MICERT, the Malaysia Computer Emergency Response Team, and also the forensic digital forensic portfolios and tools and programs and services. And in terms of preventive measures, through the technology vulnerability assessment, these are some of the labs that we develop for IoT, for robotics, for software development lifecycle lab, secure software development lifecycle lab and services. And finally, on the detection element, where we locally develop cyber death detection, eradication, and forensic. And this has won an accolade in Washington in 2015 under the FireEye Global Cyber Defense Forum through category of Best Cybersecurity Innovation Award. Between 70 other countries. And there are many others. I don't want to go through detail. Even we managed to develop films, telefilms, which was aired in RTM in February 2022 in conjunction with the Safer Internet Day. And we also, Malaysia play international leadership role at not only in Malaysia, but also at the APEC level, at the OIC level. And we also collaborate with the various multilateral platforms, the World Trustmark Alliance, Islamic Development Bank, etc., etc. So, in conclusion, humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity holds true, and it highlights the critical role of human behavior and decision making in determining the overall security of digital system. While we know that technological safeguard is essential, but lack of awareness, adherence to best practices, and susceptible to social engineering tactics, for example, demonstrate that human factors are often the most vulnerable point in the cybersecurity chain. Therefore, it is imperative to prioritize cybersecurity education, training, and awareness program, and develop a culture of vigilance to strengthen this crucial link in the defense against cyber threats. In addition to that, the approach to cybersecurity, as I mentioned just now, need to be holistic, adaptive, and dynamic, covering the three elements of people, process, technology, all in one shot, together, integrated as one. That's what we in Cybersecurity Malaysia call it Cyber Casa. So I think with that, I end my presentation. I hope it has covered most of the content and has give you some idea about the topic today, about the human factor of cyber risk in cybersecurity. I think I'll pass back to our MC today for the next agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Technologist Dr. Amiruddin. That was very enlightening. We will now hold a brief Q&A session, providing anyone with the opportunity to seek clarifications from Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Technologist Dr. Amiruddin. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to share them. Okay, I believe there's no questions. So as we conclude this webinar, I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Yang Berbahagia Datuk Technologist Dr. Amiruddin for generously sharing his expertise with us. We are privileged to have such an esteemed authority in the field as our speaker. I'd also like to express my gratitude to each of you for your active participation. Together, we aim to become more informed, vigilant, and proactive in enhancing our organization's cybersecurity efforts. Before we conclude today's session, we kindly ask all our participants to take a moment to provide us with your valuable feedback through the evaluation link in the chat box. Your honest input is immensely appreciated and helps us enhance future events. Additionally, we will have another insightful CPD talk coming up on lean management, the culture of continuous improvement at the workplace, on the 1st of December from 3 to 5 p.m. For more details about this upcoming session, please click the link provided in the chat box. Thank you for your active participation. We look forward to your continued engagement with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.